Hi, so what's up? As you can see, this all began when Joey let me and Utopia know about the situation, and we were surprised, you know what I'm saying? Because we never really expect this behavior from her. You can pause to read most of the stuff, but he was telling us that he felt uncomfortable, etc., and he started showing us messages. Let me get into that on this part. Alright, so here you can see, she's saying crazy stuff. I'm not gonna repeat that. And you know, she's not acknowledging what he's saying, and he basically trying to be chill about the whole situation. And you know what I'm saying, just from reading this, you'll see like more, as we go through this, you'll see more and more of her not acknowledging that, you know, she didn't justify what she's saying because he's a boy and they're biologically, however, she's basically saying they're biologically like that, basically like excusing it for her actions. But then she portrays what she says males are like or boys. So yeah, that's kind of confused me, but she's basically contradicting, like portraying that it's okay just because he's a guy or something. So yeah, she then goes on like her weird activity and she starts talking about a guy named Robbie or Robin or something. This individual, Robin or Robbie, I'm not gonna cover it in this video, but I've heard like multiple accounts of this person coming up and everything and who they are and whether or not they have relations with Bakr or not. That is still up to, you know, suspicion with me and my team. We're tracing like all the stories together and seeing what matches because, you know, most of the things are like lies. Some of them are kind of telling the truth, but some of them is just straight crap. But yeah, so she begins talking about doing weird stuff while you sleep, and I know from this, a lot of people are claiming this is from her persona, and that this is never real, is making it real. What seems strange until, like, the stuff that you will find later in the video, I guess, will bring light to what they were claiming. But this wasn't apparent when we first came across this. So yeah, later that afternoon, she then went on, I guess she snapped out of it, or whatever she was doing, and she apologized and everything. And then, like, she was like, okay, I'm sorry for my weird reproductive tribe. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. She said, Joey, I would never treat you that way anymore, and I respect you and what you want. He acknowledges that, you know what I'm saying? He said he understands, and he cares about her. She then goes on to say, I love you, even though you don't love me back. Yeah, that hurts, okay? Like, she apologized and tries to put the guilt on him for some reason, in a way, but it's a subtle way. Like, you wouldn't catch this your first time, unless you were really, like, on to, like, how people act. Okay, so boom, we got Anonymous. Anonymous was this decoy that was willing to work with us and notified about the stuff that he was going investigation under. So yeah, he was asking Joy, like, why'd you continue to, like, go with it? Because initially Joy was seeking help from us, and he was playing both sides, essentially. And he was requesting help, but at the same time, he was still going back to her, feeling some type of guilt for what he did. As you all already know, Joey in the community, he has a good nature, but I think he lets good nature get the best of him. And just like, really, I don't know, like initially, I was thinking he was afraid of something. She had something on him, blackmail or something. And then I later found out that they exchanged, you know, stuff before and things got wicked. And that also brings us back to that other situation with them on WhatsApp, and she was sending on the free stuff. But then he wasn't trying to less with it, so at some point, he eventually gave in. So yeah, Anonymous eventually started, like, pushing in more questions and stuff to, like, really nail down what was going on. And, like, he asked Joy, was he aware of what she was doing? And he knew. And, like, in the next part of this, he knew there were some victims. But, like I said, this is Joey. You know what I'm saying? Really, it was stupid to not speak up about it if you know there are victims. You know what I'm saying? So whether or not suffering, whether or not they're liking it, you know what I'm saying? Like, still, the victim is a victim. You know what I'm saying? I feel like anybody in that position where they were aware, unless they were also involved with it, committing the acts that she was doing, wouldn't be just there and not saying anything. But once again, it is Joey, so who knows? Alright, so boom. When I say things get crazy, they get crazier. Stuff that you wouldn't even expect. Okay, so boom. If you're not gonna read all this, I'm just gonna summarize it quickly. Every photo, every identification of Bakr that you may or may not think was her, it was not. In fact, it was a persona created by her named Hannah, and these pictures that she got was from deleted Reddit, as said by Nevermind or whoever he goes by in announcements, which we later found out to be confirmed by Bakr. So, yeah. Yuto actually, like, personally went up there. I didn't expect this, but this was a good initiative. He went and asked her, and she admitted to a lot of things and denounced some rumors that we'll most likely go over in the next video. I'm trying to keep these videos short so I can get them out quickly. But yeah, so we gonna continue to go on this because I'm reading the first slide right now. I'm not reading it verbatim, like other people are probably doing their video. I'm going off based on what I know and summarized version. So yeah, boom. Here you see the fake ID. So it was AI generated somehow. We didn't notice initially. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the stuff was blocked out. But I think she described in the screenshot is finna appear like soon. She said like she used AI and then she flipped the image or something and then made the quality bad. Yeah. Now I'm looking now and I didn't put that screenshot up there, but she admitted to being fake, and what she did basically was just use AI and then I guess use the picture of the girl to like match it up there, crop it, and then flip it backwards. So it it doesn't look like it's fake. I still don't know like how she did this successfully. Well, like to me, I've never seen like a German identification card or any other country besides like the United States or like Brazil's or like Mexico's. But for me not having that prior knowledge, I guess it fooled a lot of people. Even some people maybe in Europe, you know what I'm saying? They probably didn't look at it too closely. I don't know. Still don't know how this was done, but everything was fake. So really, we don't know who actually Bakr is. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I'm gonna say that's the sick part or like the scariest part, but really, all you people that are simping over her, it really could be anybody behind that screen. You know what I'm saying? It could be your uncle or anybody. You know what I'm saying? It could be a grown man with a beard. Or it could be a person that looks like a mouse. You know what I'm saying? So all you people that are going crazy, simping and stuff, fortunately, that's not her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can take the time while watching this video if you were one of those people. Think about your life choices. You know what I'm saying? You may regret it or you may not. You know what I'm saying? It may have been good to you in the moment, but now that you finally know, if you already haven't know, this isn't her. So, yeah. So yeah, before we knew Bakr, me and Yuto were doing good on YouTube. I think around this time I probably had like 100 or 300 subscribers. And that's when I was officially recognized by GamerMine to be put in the game. Now during this time, we were collaborating with people, making videos with people, everything during that time period was good. You know what I'm saying? It was chill. The community was great. Probably at its peak at that time. Eventually, someone introduced us to Bakr and everything, and we seen like they or she, he, whoever had the talent to hack and stuff. And it's like, okay, you can do, different type of content. That's nice, you know what I'm saying? It's variety. You hack, some people make, because back then some people were just making PvP videos or just idea requests and stuff. And I feel like people like the variety of, them being able to add stuff into the game, manipulate it, because there were hackers already existed. But since they found out, Bakr found out how to do it, I guess it was more intriguing, and I'm just gonna say she was allowing people to download it and stuff and communicate with them. So pretty much when I started like a YouTube career, it was Yuto assisting her more than I was. So I was more or less doing like majorly different stuff. It was usually like Yuto piece or like Real Sonic. You know what I'm saying? The leader of XW, if you know him. Shout out to him. And yeah, so we didn't notice any jealousy back then, but she was really jealous over Yuto because, to be honest, Yuto has came a long way from being hated by the community. Actually, me and him like used to beef back then. Like we weren't friends at all. We hated each other, and eventually we became friends and just started doing content. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, like all four of the OGs were making content. Shout out to Ultimate, shout out to Golden, shout out to ISIL, shout out to Assassin Warrior. But yeah, so back then we was making content, but we weren't as popular as like those guys. And eventually we got recognized, and that's how I went from there. And then I guess like she wanted attention, and like this made some snap to her, and then I'm guessing her behavior besides the content was something like different with her doing all the freaky stuff. Yeah, though, so like Bakr channel was doing good, and we were supporting everything, and we had our own content. Yuto had like his Red Bear series, and Hollow World was going on. I think it was in season 1 by then, and I had a few other projects I was working on as well. And channels went off good, we supported her and everything, and then eventually, like out of nowhere, she stopped being cool with us for like a few months, and we didn't hear back from her. And like basically, like the YouTubers had a group. We asked what you think about this type of content, people collaborating and all that, and everybody would be, yeah, you know what I'm saying, everybody would agree on it. Eventually, she stopped, cut off connections, and we didn't hear from her for like 4 or 5 months, and then she eventually started her own server, and we joined, you know what I'm saying, we tried to be interactive and stuff, and then I guess she like actually built a fan base, you know what I'm saying, that was good, but really me and him didn't speak on her servers because like how the people were, I'm not going to blame people for how they are, but it just wasn't our type of people, you know what I'm saying, like it'd be weird stuff to be said, like currently how like the current WOTU server is, or like initially was when it first released, it kind of died down, calmed down. I said died down, but it definitely calmed down. But it was stuff like that. We just didn't, like we were focused on our community more or less, besides even, you know what I'm saying, like not mixing in with the people well. Overall, it was a good, prosperous community, but like she basically ghosted us after we like put her on that technically. So yeah. So eventually, after a long time, WOTU got recognized in the game, and he was at it, and everybody congratulated him. And she even admitted to like when she seen us, she was mad because she hated him because she wasn't as much successful as he was. So yeah, we spoke with Joey around last year, and this is around like the summertime, I believe, the last time we tried to get this done, and he was telling us that, like, her subscribers and stuff were like experiments and stuff, and like her fans, she didn't really care. She just wanted to get better like video editing. I'm gonna put the screenshots at the end of the video so you can go through them as you wish. Some of them are in the WOTU file server. So yeah, when I initially seen it, I was like, you know, you wanted all this, but these people mean nothing to you. Yet, you lied to them. You backdoored us. You know what I'm saying? You ghosted us. You, like, us and a few others helped jumpstart your career. You know what I'm saying? You had a massive following, which was good. You know what I'm saying? Half of it, I believe, was because, not even saying because she was doing, like, crazy stuff, but, like, she was the only female creator at the time that was, like, widely known, and then eventually more came to follow suit. I don't know if they're inspired by her, they're just inspired in general. You know what I'm saying? I've inspired a lot of YouTubers that aren't male. You know what I'm saying? WOTU has, you know, and just in general, YouTubers, you know what I'm saying? But, like, having probably because she was a woman, and, you know, the kids game, teenage boys, they go crazy over that. So they were gonna, you know what I'm saying, trying to find a way into that. And I don't know what the original impulse was to start doing these, like, promiscuous things on the internet, within being a person of high influence, being a YouTuber, content creator. I don't know if it was the pressure from them simping, or she just seen it as an easy way because she felt uncomfortable by herself to, you know, go on and do with these individuals. Now, these individuals, I'm going to cover them in, like, the next video. I know some of them don't want to be, like, their names in the public. Some don't mind. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about, like, what they were, like, doing with her. It's more or less how they felt about it and the things that were happening, which affected them. So I'll cover that in the next video. I can try to get it done this weekend. Yeah, here we go. So Bakra had, like, self-hatred, essentially, to where she created a Hannah persona. And basically to hide herself, you know what I'm saying? Now, a person like Bakra could still seek help, you know what I'm saying? The things that she did, the things that Bakra did were bad, you know what I'm saying? They shouldn't be done by anybody. You know what I'm saying? And just because I know some people just believe just because she's a female is going to blow over in a month and it's justified. She can come back like brand new. She did it last time and claimed it was for other reasons, but it's the same pattern over and over again. It's like third time. But yeah, like, a person like this should, like, seek help, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if the trauma stories are real, but according to Bakra and Joey and WOTU, she had some traumatic experiences, which led her to be this way now. I'm not sure if that was part of her persona or actually, but, like, that's still no excuse to be doing all of this, you know what I'm saying? And the things that I'm aware of that basically she said, like, traumatic, wasn't even anything sexual, it was more, like, physical abuse. But I don't know how to convert to that. Everybody goes through trauma differently, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to disregard whether or not it's, like, true or not, but still it's not an excuse for these type of actions. Like I said, a person like Bakra could receive help, and if they can't receive help openly, definitely messaging minors and individuals on Discord is not an outlet. But it could be expressed in a different, less harmful way, a more personal way, you know what I'm saying? Even if there isn't that external person to talk to. And maybe she felt like the people online were that, but essentially, that just was not the way to go, you know what I'm saying? It's just not.